Hi everyone, this is Michelle from the Snooze Clinic again. Okay, sorry, I'm a bit of a mess. I just realized, but it's past midnight. This is the neatest I can look at this time. Okay, sorry. So today what we're gonna look at is we're gonna make a comparison between or amongst three machines, which is your AirStart 10, your AirSense 10 Autoset. This is like a tongue twister, okay? And the AirSense 10 Elite. Okay? I think in the past few years, we've only seen the AirSense 10 Autoset. So don't get me wrong, I do like the AirSense 10 Autoset. And I would highly encourage anyone who needs a CPAP machine to get the AirSense 10 Autoset. Yeah, if it's affordable to them, right? And if they want convenience, yeah, because the AirSense 10 Autoset, just in case some of you don't know, the AirSense 10 Autoset has got 3G connectivity, so that actually allows us to assess the patient's data on a daily basis. We can generate reports remotely. We can give a link or an account to the respective doctor, so the doctor can assess the patient's data as well at any point. Yeah, the best part is we can actually change the settings, adjust the settings remotely. Yeah, so it saves a lot of time for the patient as well as for us, because the patient doesn't have to take leave to keep coming down to see us if they need any changes to their settings. We can just do it on our mobile phone or on our computer. Okay, but with that said, we do understand that some of the patients tend to be more price sensitive. Yeah, and we're not only talking about the ones who are not very financially well off, but I do have very wealthy patients who refuse to spend $2,000 on an AirSense 10 Autoset. So yeah, when patients don't want to spend so much on a CPAP machine, that's where the options come in, right? So for the AirStart 10, for example, it's fuss-free, frills-free. So yeah, it's a no-frills machine. It's a very standard machine, but a good one, of course. So the only there are a couple of differences. I won't say the only difference. There are a couple of differences between the AirStart 10 and the AirSense 10, such as I mentioned, one has connectivity, the other one doesn't. The AirStart 10 doesn't have a 3G chip or 4G chip, whatever chip, yeah, no Wi-Fi, no whatsoever. So it's a very, very simple machine. It still has the SD card, of course, but that would mean that the patient would have to be disciplined enough to come down for the reviews, right? Because if the patient doesn't come down, well, there's a limit to what I can do, right? I can't continue begging the patient to come down to let me see his or her report. After all, it's their own health, they should take charge of it. We can only encourage them to be more compliant to CPAP therapy. Yeah, so but you know, even without connectivity, all is not lost. And my plan is for patients who use the AirStart 10 to perhaps come down every month for maybe the first 3 months, just to make sure that everything is in place. Then when everything stabilizes, maybe once in 6 months, and eventually once a year, just to make sure that they're still using it. But once again, as I mentioned, it still depends a lot on the patient himself or herself, because I cannot force them to come down. Yeah. Whereas for the AirSense 10, we can assess the data anytime to see whether they're still using it or not. Okay, so yeah, okay, so I've covered the AirSense 10, AirSense 10 Autoset, and the AirStart 10. The other one, it's also an AirSense 10. Ouch, sorry, my leg's cramping. Okay, the other one, it's also an AirSense 10, but it's an AirSense 10 Elite. So what is an AirSense 10 Elite? Basically, it's a fixed CPAP. Okay, well, of course, some people may say, oh, but fixed CPAPs are like primitive, you know. Yeah, yes and no, because we use the fixed CPAP mode for patients with with central apneas, and it works beautifully. So with that said, yes, of course, the patient can still get an AirSense 10 Autoset if they want to, because that has got two modes, right? It's got the Autoset mode, it's got the fixed CPAP mode. But of course, if the patient wants to save a couple of $100s, the patient can go for the AirSense 10 Elite, right? Probably difference of maybe $200 thereabouts, yeah? Yeah, buzz me, email me if you want to have the price list, because I'm not going to like announce the price to everyone. Yeah, so basically for the Elite, yes, as I mentioned, it's a fixed CPAP machine. So if it's really confirmed that your patient needs a fixed CPAP and that an auto CPAP will not work on the patient, then yeah, just get the Elite. Yeah, so the Elite, AirSense 10 Elite also comes with connectivity, right? So once again, that means we can access the data, we can generate reports remotely, we can adjust settings remotely, just that it doesn't have the Autoset mode. Okay, so other than that, differences are quite minimal, I think. I feel. So I'm going to go through the machines one by one, and you decide for yourself whether you think that the differences are minimal, whether you feel that you would prefer all your patients to get just one single machine, the AirSense 10 Autoset, or if you want to cater more to the patients' financial status or the patient's preference, then yeah, you can offer them the other two machines as well. Yeah, so okay, so one difference for the AirStart 10 is that you will not have an auto adjusting climate control, which is the humidity, nor a heated tube and an auto adjusting temperature for the heated tube, because the AirStart 10 does not allow a heated tube to be used with it. Yeah, so you just use a standard tube. Not too much of a big deal, I think, because I know of certain brands that only provide standard tubing. Yeah, they don't even have heated tubing. Yeah. So yeah, differences are pretty minimal. For the AirStart 10, you will not have Smart Start as well. So once again, I think not a big issue, because not all machines have that, I think. But I'm sure, yeah, with the newer machines, I guess all brands will have like a Smart Start or an Auto Start. Once you put on the mask and breathe, it starts. But not everyone makes use of that function anyway. I know of patients who still, you know, tap the button on top to manually start it and stop it. So I think the little differences between the AirStart 10 and the AirSense 10, it's not too much of a concern, I feel. Yeah. So I'm going to go through the machines one by one, and yeah, why don't you decide? Yeah. Alright. Okay, this is the first machine, the AirStart 10. Okay, this is the one which I said is very much no frills, fuss-free, simple, like a standard entry-level machine. Okay, but it's good. I mean, the features and all that are very similar to the AirSense 10. It's just that you do not have the climate control, the auto climate control. You do not have a heated tube. It doesn't have that function. So as you can see, right, it comes with a standard tube. Okay, standard hose, standard tubing, whatever you call it. Yeah. Okay, and this is what it looks like. Okay, the next one is the one which we are all pretty familiar with, which is the AirSense 10 Autoset. So yes, this is the tubing it comes with, the climate line air, right, which enables your CPAP device to go into like an auto climate control mode, where the humidifier actually increases and decreases according to the ambience, yeah, and the tube temperature as well. Okay, so the last one, which is also an AirSense 10, but it's not an Autoset, it's an Elite. This is the fixed CPAP. So yeah, similarly, this comes with a climate control, with a climate line air tubing, right? So it also allows the device to have an auto climate control mode, as well as an auto heated tubing mode, yeah. So okay, so okay, so now let's look at the individual features. Okay, if I look at this one, okay, sorry, can we see? Yeah, okay. So if we look at this one, right? If I go into my options, okay, wait out. If I go into, hold on. Okay, I've gone into the clinical menu. Let's take a look at what that is. So these 4 settings are very similar to what you have in your Autoset, your AirSense 10 Autoset. So if you scroll down, yes, it's got its REM time as well. So, well, with its REM time, if we put, yeah, if it has a REM time, it has a start pressure as well. We also have the EPR, which is the expiratory pressure relief, the comfort setting to allow you to breathe out easier. Okay, and then so you see humidity level over here. It doesn't say climate control or auto, climate control auto or tube temperature auto, simply because it doesn't have that function. So humidity level for this machine will have to be manually adjusted. Not a huge thing actually, because a lot of machines also require that, yeah, except the AirSense 10 Autoset. So the humidity level, right over here, it says 4. So yeah, you can change it to 3, 2, you can change it to 5, and 2, right, it says standard. So basically, because you can't use the climate line air with this. Okay, essentials. Okay, so essentials, if we turn it to plus, very similar to the AirSense 10 Autoset, right? Okay. The other thing which this machine doesn't have is the Smart Start option. Not sure if it matters a lot to you, but I know quite a number of patients that don't use the Smart Start anyway. They will, yeah, they will press on the top button to actually start it and to stop it. Okay, so that's the end of the clinical settings. Okay, let me get out of here. Okay, now we can go to my options. Okay, yeah, the reason why we saw a shorter version of this just now was because it was set to essentials on, right? So essentials plus is the extended version. Okay, so if you scroll down, yeah, I think generally it has the usual stuff that that you see on the other machines. I think this one doesn't have, oh yeah, of course this one doesn't have the airplane mode. You don't need the airplane mode because there's no connectivity anyway. Alright, so if we get out of here, we go to sleep report. So sleep report, whatever you see here is very similar, right? Or rather, it's very much the same as the AirSense 10 Autoset. Yeah, just that, let me see, okay, I think just that it ends at AHI. Yeah, when you actually look at the average, the moving average, you actually see AHI right below, right? Whereas the AirSense 10 Autoset, you will actually be able to see your central apneas as well. Yeah, central apneas or clear airway index. I believe it's two different ways of looking at it. Yeah. Okay. So done with this one. Okay, so once again, this is the AirStart 10. Okay. Now let's go over to the AirSense 10 Autoset. I think this one everyone's like really familiar with it. Right, okay. So okay, sorry, let it focus first. Okay, so once again, I'm going into the clinical menu. Wait, fingers too short, hang on. Okay, got it. Okay, so once again, this is pretty similar to what you saw in the simple machine. Okay, so additional things would be response, right, where you can choose standard response or soft response. Okay, and okay, RAM time was there, start pressure was there, EPR was there. Okay, so humidity level, yep, it looks like it's the same, but what happens is when you actually connect a climate line air tubing, it will change. Yeah, hold on, let me get whoops. Okay, now after I've attached the climate line air tubing, if I scroll back down where we saw humidity level of 4, you will see that now it has changed to climate control auto and tube temperature auto. So this is what I was talking about, yeah, because the climate line air is a heated tubing, and with that gold chip at the end of the tubing, it actually allows like auto climate control and auto adjusting humidity, that is, as well as an auto adjusting tube temperature. Okay, other than that, okay, so once again, essentials, can turn it to plus. Okay, so for this machine, you can see that there is a smart start, right? Okay, reminders, I can't remember if the other one has it. Okay. Yeah. So, because we are going to take a look at the Elite later, let me just show you, like for the AirSense 10 Autoset, when we go into mode, right, it allows you to, hold on, let's focus a bit. Okay, it allows you to choose between CPAP, which is a fixed CPAP mode, and Autoset, which is an auto adjusting mode. Okay, so let's move on to the next machine. Okay, I caused a mess behind it. Okay. Okay, so as mentioned, this is the Elite, right? This is the AirSense 10 Elite. So this is very similar to the AirSense 10 Autoset. Okay, just that for the mode, you will not see Autoset for this one. Okay, so if you go to settings once again, so if you see mode, right, it says CPAP, and when you select it, you go in, you still see CPAP. Yeah, you won't see like auto CPAP. Okay, so I think this works really well for some of the patients who have primarily central apneas, and yeah, whereby fixed CPAP works beautifully on them. Yeah, so for those patients, because auto CPAP doesn't work very well on them, well, it's not, well, I won't say no point, but if they want to save a couple of $100, they should just get this one. Yeah, unless it's a bit of both where, yeah, where they can choose whether they want to use a fixed CPAP or an auto CPAP. If not, if it's very confirmed, you know, very fixed that you'll be using a fixed CPAP, then this machine is just fine. Okay, so set pressure. Alright, so for this one, unlike the other two machines, it's fixed CPAP, so you will not get a range, right? Okay, so once again, you have your RAM time, you have your start pressure, you have your EPR, humidity level. Okay, so once again, okay, magic show. Okay, if I connect, okay, so if I connect the Climate Line air tube, right? Yeah, so you see over here where we saw humidity of 4 just now, it has changed to auto climate control, which is, yes, once again an auto adjusting humidity, and tube temperature, which is auto adjusting, yeah, tube temperature. Okay, so this comes with a heated tube, just like the AirSense 10 Autoset. Okay, so once again, we can change essentials to plus. Okay, and there is smart start as well. And yeah, that's about it. Okay, so yeah, I'm just doing an overview of the three machines because I think all of us have been very familiar with just the AirSense 10 Autoset. So yeah, now it's time to, well, just compare the three and see which one works better for your patients if you're a doctor or if you work in a sleep lab. Yeah, there are options for the patients. Okay, I'm done with introducing or comparing the three machines. I hope you get a better understanding now of the differences between the three machines. And yeah, if you're a healthcare professional, you may want to give your patients a choice, of whether they need something without 3G or they prefer something without 3G, without connectivity. As I mentioned, I would prefer patients to use the one with connectivity because it makes it very convenient. Yeah, makes it very convenient. It improves compliance. So previously, when I first entered the industry, right, I was always told that the takeout rate is like 50%, so what that means is from the pool of patients that actually do a CPAP trial, only 50% would actually end up getting a CPAP machine and continuing CPAP therapy. Yeah, but what I noticed when I actually started managing patients was that no, it's as high as 90% takeout rate. I'm not sure whether it's because of the connectivity, the ability for us to actually flag little issues along the way and address these issues before the patient goes to bed for the next night. Yeah, I think it helps a lot, right? So take for example, if there's no 3G connectivity for the machine, what's gonna happen is during the trial, right? You pass the patient the machine. Patient holds onto it for, okay, sorry, cramping again. Okay, patient holds onto the machine for a month. Patient comes back with the SD card. You download it and you say, oh, you didn't use. Oh, it was leaking so badly for the whole month. Da, 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 da. Well, sometimes it's a bit too late, because if you had told the patient that, or if you had found that out at the very start, right? Maybe first day, second day, and corrected the issue, advised the patient on what they should do, the patient would definitely have a more pleasant experience for the 1 month CPAP trial. And of course, for some patients, like after 1-2 days, if it feels yucky, I think they just give up and not even use. So what can you do, right? Patient comes back with the SD card, you're like, oh dear, you only use 2 days out of 30 days. How can, you know? But what can you do about it? Or what are you going to tell the patient? But I still think, yeah, it's good for you, you should use it. To be very honest, for my patients, if the compliance rate is very, very low, right? If they're using it 1 day, skip 3 days, use 1 day, skip 4 days, I'll tell them, no, I don't think I want to sell the machine to you. You know, half the time the patients will end up promising, swearing that, okay, I promise to use it like more often from now, you know, can you sell me the machine? Yeah, I mean, that's what I want. I want some commitment from them. Yeah, so okay, so with that being said, yeah, so basically the AirSense, the AirSense 10, I think has actually enabled the compliance rate to actually go up. Yeah, because we can address issues more quickly, more efficiently, more effectively, whatever you call it. Yeah, so other than that, yeah, I think I'm done for now. Okay, if you have any questions, please feel free to buzz me or email me. Okay, my email address is info@the Snooze Clinic, TheSnoozeclinic.com, or alternatively, you can email me at info@zenithmedical.com. So that is info@zenithmedical.com. Yeah, or if you need to call me, it's 8789-3139. Okay, that's all for now. Bye.